Okay, so we saw Hotep and Pearl. That's one example. I think that's a positive example of how to interact with somebody that maybe you have a perceived beef with in person. And now here's an example of how not to act uh, when you have a beef with somebody online. Are any of you gals familiar with SniperWolf? She's got like 34 million subs on YouTube. She does kind of like brainless reaction videos.
Mhm.
Like not particularly clever, but she's beautiful and it's very simple. She'll just and she's very much promoted by YouTube. She kind of automatically comes up on your feed. Like if you have no favorites selected, she's kind of automatically recommended to you. So she's very much been pushed and promoted by the system. And a lot of people have made criticisms of her content saying like, well, she's a reactor, she's a reaction
Mhm.
channel, but she goes an extremely long time before she reacts. And oftentimes she'll just play other people's content and not even react. Um, there's this one guy who has been calling her out quite a bit on this, and his name is JacksFilms, and I guess this guy JacksFilms got under SniperWolf's skin, uh, and she kind of put out. I'm not sure if this was an Instagram or a tweet, but this was how, which is kind of shocking. I know this is like a lot to catch you up on if you've never heard of this person, but
She's a
she basically
psycho. She's been a psycho. She hates women and she's a psycho bitch. That's what you need to know. She's
Yep.
done
this
this
was
for
her
years.
I'm a little
IG.
familiar.
This looks like an IG story. So she uh said, "Should I go visit Jack's Films? He lives 5 minutes away from my shoot. Yes or no?"
Mhm.
Uh, and then she ended up going. She ended
Mhm.
up actually, and this is she actually ended up going to this guy's house. I think took photos of the front of it. I
Yep.
don't know if she
She
gave
did.
out April, do you know if she gave out his address? I mean, I think taking photos of the front of someone's house is bad enough because
Yeah.
there are so many geography nerds out there that can figure out
Oh,
exactly
they
where you
already know
are.
where he lives. Like,
Yeah,
they
the
know. Like, they knew, like, pretty much immediately just from that picture they found it, like
mhm.
other people.
Yeah, I mean, people have put our house out on Google Maps too and stuff like that too. It's pretty nasty,
She
but
literally said, "I don't even know how to dox."
we
Bitch, are you
Wow.
yeah, she
serious?
totally does though. So what we gathered from our listeners on our show earlier tonight is that she did put his address out there
Woo!
and did for sure dox this guy and the excuse that I was hearing was that this guy had apparently put out, like, a lot of content on her that must have been, like, in a negative light about her or something
Well, he
like
makes,
that.
like, reactions to her
Yeah,
reactions and, like, has a bingo game because she's so predictable, and he's
sure. Mhm.
Yes.
promoting the creators that she cuts out of her, so
Yeah.
he, like,
Here
gives them
here's
their
this guy's
credit.
channel. He goes by Jack's Films on YouTube. I mean, not too shabby at 4.87 million subscribers. Jesus, I don't know how these
Wow,
people
yeah. Okay.
get this kind of following. But let's go to his videos because I myself was wondering, well, how many videos has he actually done on
I mean,
Sniper
does it
Wolf?
even matter though? Like, could it
I think he has a separate
Well
channel for that. All the
well, she's
reactions
in
to
several of
hers, there's, like,
these.
another
See that?
one.
Her picture's in several of those thumbnails just right up front.
but
Right.
does any of that matter?
No, what I said on our show tonight was kinda like, somebody can say no matter if it's true or not, they can say a million terrible things about you, it doesn't give you the right to put somebody's,
Yeah,
like, address out there. I
exactly. And
completely
this
feel
is
that way.
all him making
A few
content.
weeks
I mean,
ago.
I don't.
As
I'm
long
gonna
as he
play a snippet of this just to
yeah.
see if he gives any examples of what she
In that video
does.
about YouTuber SniperWolf and how she's profited off the works of thousands of other creators by reacting to them in the
Right.
laziest way possible. And on my other channel, Judge Jack's Films, we've
Yes, this is his other channel, Judge Jack's Film. So I think maybe he points out more. And here is the example of the bingo card he created. So she tends to do a lot of the same things like black and white filter, victim
Mhm.
blaming, shaky camera effect. So a lot of these, I guess, like classic YouTube tropes or effects, she kind of falls into that.
Sure.
gone much, much deeper into just how
Fake
empty her
laugh.
commentary is. In fact, she's gotten so predictable that Twitter user Piosaurus3 made us a bingo card out of
This is so funny. I didn't know, because I guess I'm not like an old school or typical, YouTuber. I just didn't realize that these were classic moves. Talking over the person in the video. I mean, I think I probably have done that. Random tangent is the video repeats. Fake laugh. Silent for over 5 seconds. What did you expect? Stock or Vine sound effects. No credit. Okay, so it really bothers this guy JacksFilms that she does not give credit to the people that she's reacting to, and oftentimes she will put herself, like her box, like her camera, over the name of like the TikTok
Okay.
handle name.
Oh, that's intentional.
Right.
Yes.
Clearly.
And there was an
Yeah.
instance where there was a TikTok, and I don't know if it's on this video, but it's showing a car that's broken into, and there's a guy narrating it. At the end, he's like, "Oh, this girl Hadoukened the car," and he was actually able, which is funny, whatever, it's a Street Fighter reference. This guy was able to prove that SniperWolf cut out the last part where, and she was the person who then reacted with that same funny line. So instead of the guy saying
Oh.
she Hadoukened the car, SniperWolf says at the end of the video, "Oh, it looks like she Hadoukened the car."
Oh, so she's trash.
That's shicey.
So I'm just like,
She has no creativity.
exactly, which is exactly his point. And this guy JacksFilms reminds me a little bit of Brittany Venti in that, like, likes to uncover someone who is like dishonest or has a pattern, like they're not who they say they are. Or I was like, this just reminds me of like a male Venti here.
of SniperWolfisms, and we just kind of ran with it.
No!
Shaky cam? Where's that shaky cam?
What's wrong with you?
Stop yelling. It's kind of unnecessary.
Not their car, their neighbor's car.
Oh, all right.
And it's so echoey. I'm like, she's a professional. She's got millions of followers, and she's just yelling into an echoey room.
I
That's
don't
my
even get
biggest
how
shock.
this
Is
is
that
entertaining.
this
Like,
girl
why
doesn't have a microphone.
But she's hot, so nobody cares. You gotta
Yeah, that's what I
remember.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
Summarizing,
No,
sound effect.
That's a take on the electric Porsche.
Yes, Mr. Beast captions. But during these past few weeks, we accidentally uncovered some shady things Miss Wolf has done and done recently.
Oh, unchill thing.
They do get progressively worse.
Okay, when was the?
So this one is fiendishly devious.
Oh,
I was hosting around.
She just like played the same thing over and over again, not giving credit. Something where she manipulated the 8-minute mark for mid-roll ads, where she repeated something after 8 minutes. I don't like fully understand that, but this guy is more online and YouTubey than I am, so he, I guess, was able to pick that out. Oh, here it is. This is the one.
This gets worse. This next one is pretty spicy. During another bingo stream, we come across SniperWolf reacting to a TikTok of someone surveying damage done to a car. In the TikTok, you hear the narrator say,
"This did my shit with Thor's hammer."
And then SniperWolf responds with,
She hit it with a Hadouken.
Now at first, I didn't think anything of it. A little Street Fighter joke? Hey, that's not bad. But then someone in the Twitch chat wrote this. Wait, what? She cut out the end and tried to use a line as her own. The guy in the video said, wait, what? The guy in the video said she hit me with a Hadouken?
Oh my God.
No, she didn't. We have to screen the TikTok.
"This bitch hit my shit with Thor's hammer. This bitch hit my shit with a Hadouken."
Oh,
Damn.
hell no.
Piece of shit.
Oh,
I find
Wow.
that so cringy.
that's super cringy.
She's a classless
anyway.
whore.
So this guy has made quite a few videos about this gal.
And he's
so
not even a troll or anything. He's like just being,
Mhm.
he's observing and reporting, basically.
yeah.
You know,
If she
he's
would
not
have just
trolling.
credited the people, he
False
wouldn't have even
identity.
did anything probably. But she
Nothing
like doesn't credit any of these people ever. Like it's very
Right.
rare. Like I
And
don't
that
know.
she's not transforming the content very much. She's just,
Dude, I credit people with memes. If I get it on Instagram, I'll screenshot it and I'll leave their
SniperWolf.
name in because
Yeah.
it's their meme. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
cut it out.
At the very
Yeah.
minimum, like especially if you're watching a TikTok video, you have to leave their handle up or something.
Yeah, Christy, remember that meme someone made? I can't remember his name of me looking at your butt at the content house. He like messaged me and was like, "Oh my god, thank you for like leaving my name." And I was like, "Dude, you made it.
Oh,
Like, I'm not gonna
wow.
cut it out." Like, I
Oh,
always
wow.
repost it because he like made it. That's fucked up not to do that.
You
There's
know, it makes me wanna be more mindful of that because it's just it's something I don't know if I've done it purposely or unintentionally, but, like, after watching this, it makes me wanna make sure that I'm going out of my way to make sure who you know what I mean? If I'm
Yeah.
right, reposting a meme or, right, reacting to a video that you crediting the person is very important.
there's, like, no
been
reason to not include it, you know what I mean?
No.
So to, like, intentionally not include it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been like the internet like is anyone on her side? I don't see why anyone would be.
No one has
No,
liked her
it
for a
is
long time,
weird.
dude. She
Okay.
has done so many things besides this. Like, I've just known about it because of the people I watch and shit that she's done to people I know. Like, she's real fucked up, dude. Like, she like ran this girl offline years ago, Girl Gone Gamer. This is how she got famous because she made a video saying that that girl was faking her gameplay on Call of Duty and all this shit. Meanwhile, the whole time she was. And it's now coming out in lawsuits because she's getting a divorce. And he like ran all of her shit. Like he made the script, he played the gameplay, he gave her the script for the gameplay. So she ran off that girl and she was doing the exact same thing at the time. Like made that girl's life hell, pushed her off the internet, and she was doing it. Yeah, she's getting sued by her husband because she like
Oh.
Oh,
it's like his channel
Well,
too, and she's like trying to lock him out, and he's like, "Oh no, no, no," and he like
did
did
not
all
know
of it for
She
her.
has such a
Wow.
big fan base. Does she have like a cult following? Like some fans that are just
Well, here's
like,
the thing, she's got 34 million followers on
Yeah.
YouTube. So this girl shows up at this guy's house who's a critic of hers. So even though she's probably a small girl who's not gonna physically impose on
Sure.
him,
yeah, but
I'm
she knows what
sure
she's doing.
it's possible she could have 1 million insane fans that are willing to find where this guy lives as well and be like, "Oh, SniperWolf does this is an enemy of SniperWolf, so this is an enemy of mine," and
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You
raise
just
a
don't
bunch of
know.
shit.
You can't be doing that. There's like there's literally not a situation where it's okay to put anybody's address
Mm.
out there. I wouldn't do it to my worst enemy. I really
Yeah.
would.
Oh,
It's
no.
like,
when
how
I was
dumb
going
is
through
she
the,
to do that? Like, you don't
I-
do that. How? Where is your common sense? Like, you've been on the internet a long time. You should know you don't do that. Like, ever.
She
Like,
knows
you
she
what?
doesn't give a shit about any of those
Where? What
things.
did she just do it and not say anything? Like with the pushback? Has she said anything?
No, so here, let me play a snippet.
Oh,
You
she
see-
like doubled down and was like, I just want to talk like adults. Dude, you don't post a picture of his
No.
house.
Right. You talk then.
Yeah.
SniperWolf, a massive YouTuber, showed up outside of our home, recorded a video of our home, and then posted it to her 5.6 million
Oh.
Instagram
Okay, so she
followers,
posted on Instagram.
goading me with the line, "Let's talk like adults." In my 17 years on YouTube,
Wow,
I've never
17.
once had someone
Mm.
come to my home and vaguely threaten me. SniperWolf needs to be deplatformed. In this exact moment, she turned from a mere content thief to someone
Oh.
who doxes and stalks her critics. To everyone that's reached out to us,
He's
thank
dead
you. We're
serious.
fine. We're just a little shaken up. But mainly, we feel violated. We no longer feel safe in our
Mhm.
own home because we're dealing with someone who genuinely thinks they're in the right for A, stalking me, and B, posting our home to her massive audience. What a disgusting abuse of clout that is. This is irresponsible.
How do you guys feel? Do you think you know, it's probably tricky because he's a dude. There might be some guys watching this like, oh, he shouldn't feel threatened. She's just a chick. Like, how could he really
No,
feel
no, that
unsafe?
would be so
her, though.
stupid.
It's more about her followers.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
doesn't have
He's not saying
followers.
he's threatened by her.
herself and didn't post it. I don't think he would have this reaction.
Yeah, that's like
Should-
so
should
wrong.
He be deplatformed? What do you guys think? Like, do you
Uh,
think
I mean, it's
She
against
knew what she was
YouTube.
doing. She knew
Well-
exactly what she was doing.
I
She
think
did-
that's good enough reason for YouTube to kick her off?
She did this on Instagram though. And
Yeah, should she be deplatformed for this?
I
Yeah,
do
but on
believe she should
YouTube, it
be
doesn't matter. They said if you do
Listen.
it off platform too, you're threatening people or doxing them, it counts on here. Like
If
they'll
I
get
got
removed.
deplatformed for making a trans baby sketch, this baby should get she should be out of here.
Yeah, I feel like people get deplatformed for the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
This is one of
Thank
those things
you.
that I think they should be deplatformed for, like doxing, anything like that. Yeah.
Something where you're blatantly trying to bring actual physical violence to this guy. She could like stay there and be like, I was just trying to talk, but she's lying. She's full of
How old
shit
is
because she's
she?
already shown that track
That's a
record.
good question. Let me find out. How old is
I would guess
her?
late 20s, early 30s.
I mean,
But there's just no
anyone
way she
over
doesn't have like an insane male fan that is maybe younger,
Right.
but will be like, oh, I'm gonna go defend her honor because this is wrong what he's doing to her. Like,
She's
there's
pretty
no way
fun.
there's
Yeah.
not one in that group.
Dude,
Like,
there were
there's
some in
no
the
way.
comments on her Instagram. I saw them defending her. And
Yeah.
as far as I saw, and I don't really follow like this side of YouTube people in particular, but as far as I saw, it was all younger men in their late teens, early 20s being like, so what if she doxed him? He was harassing
Right,
her.
simping for her. Yeah.
So yeah. Also, I've never really seen this guy before, Jack, but he looks like a combination of all like the BuzzFeed Try Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to put that out there.
He
Oh.
does. He is
Mhm.
giving barista vibes, but I don't think that means photos of his house should be posted, and he does seem
No.
genuinely bothered, and it really doesn't seem. I mean, like, we all have people who probably do videos on us. I can't imagine putting the time and energy into finding out where these people live. And like,
Yeah.
I've been swatted. April's been swatted. I think we were swatted on the same day.
Chrissie was swatted after we were because there was a disgruntled fan of ours that is a little mentally not all there, and he decided that it would be okay for him to put mine and my husband's address in to a Discord of basically a pool of mental patients where
Oh my
one
God.
person in that Discord took it upon himself to start swatting us, first of all, which that's violating enough that's a scary feeling to go upstairs and there's a bunch of cops in your yard, right? That's
Wait, what do you mean
terrifying.
swatting? I don't know what that means.
They called our local police station where we live here, and they're like, they do this like a robot voice, kind of like, somebody's killing their entire family and stuff, and you guys need to
Or
go
something like-
immediately.
something that would alert the cop, like
Got
something
it.
that would
Okay.
make the cops
they
rush
show up.
over to your place with guns blazing. And the part that's very dangerous about it, let's say someone doesn't answer the door right away, or let's say you're the only one home and you're streaming. Well, then they're kind of in their right to like bust through the door. And
That's what happened to us.
they
They,
killed.
Oh, I get it.
sort of
SWAT, like
Yeah.
it was a SWAT team. Literally.
Yeah.
So we were streaming that night, and Chrissie was on air with us later that night, and I went upstairs because I heard pounding on my door. And usually, like, if we're doing a stream or something, that might be one of our fans, like, delivering something funny, haha, because some of them know us locally here. And I showed up to the door, and there's a bunch of cops there. I'm like, holy shit! And somebody said that they called in and said that like Aaron was killing our whole family. You know what I mean? And then after that, in that same Discord and in a couple other channels, people were putting pictures of our home on there and got into a bunch of stuff with our family. And where that JacksFilms guy is right is like, it's just a serious feeling of like violation, and you just don't know who's out there and crazy. Aaron dealt with it really, honestly, miles better than I ever did. I didn't do well with any of that.
Is this the first time she's been criticized? I feel like with a following that
How
big,
could it-
she should
yeah,
be
how could
fucking
it
used
be?
to it. I mean, we just saw, as much as I dislike Pearl, I mean, I can't imagine her like she just blocks somebody. She doesn't go like to their house and take a picture. And,
No, she's too busy. Like I wouldn't have the time for that. She
That's
would
what
never,
I
I
was
don't think
imagining.
she'd do
with a
that.
following that big, you have to expect people to make videos about you. The
Yeah.
fact that she's handling it like this, it's like she's new, and she seems like she's.
You're
And
so
she
right,
also
because
puts
all of us,
herself in these situations all the time. Like, she talks shit on so many girls for no reason, and then people will criticize her. Like, there's so much with her. It's actually pretty insane. Like, she will deny everything to the death, to the point where this dude that she was hitting on while she was married, he had to go to the Verizon store and get them to get his messages. Like, dude, I am not lying. Like, you wrote this to me. You said that he was abusing you. Like, she told dude that her man was abusing her and she couldn't get out of it, saying all this shit, and then she still was denying it, that like
she's
the
a liar.
Verizon people are faking it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
he
mean, well,
wanted
it's
to
clear
prove he
she's a
wasn't
liar.
lying. Like, he's like, I'm not a liar. Like, no, you're not going to do this. Like, she is actually insane. Like, there's something wrong with her.
If
Like,
you
she's
cut out somebody's
not
video
all there,
where
dude. I don't know.
where they make up a line and then you say the line like it's yourselves, you're a liar. You're
Yeah.
clearly a liar.
There's
That's
so
it.
much
All you
with
If
need
you
her,
did that
though.
on stage, you'd be called a joke thief.
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
kidding.
people do
Why is
do
it
it.
okay on the internet?
Yep, ran through the mud for that.
I'm like,
What
dude, there's a reason no one in the gaming community likes her. The commentary, nobody on YouTube likes her. No one wanted to work with her. Like there's something wrong with her. Like she's
Yeah.
just
And
such
clearly, if
a
she
mean
went after this
person.
Jax guy, clearly he got under her skin. And I always say this: you show people your weaknesses when you are when you show them your triggers.
Yeah,
And
to make it worse.
clearly, she's triggered by this guy's content because there's a nugget of truth in that for her, and she's
Right.
like, "Fuck, he's right." That's why she got so pissed. And she's probably in her feelings. Oh, I'm just gonna show up because I'm pissed that he's calling me
And
out.
yeah, her ego is ginormous. So if you're
Oh, yeah.
calling her uncreative, oh hell no, you must pay. Like it's so weird to me. Like you're not though. You're not. You're stealing. And reaction content is not like creative.
I don't get why
Sorry.
people watch it. Like,
I have
Well,
no.
it-
They're
well,
little
it's
kids. They're little
brainless.
kids.
It's a
It's
ton
like
of kids. Yeah.
it's Gen Alpha brainless content. It's like this the next generation like coming up, they fucking love memes. It's very brainless content. It's like people falling down. It's like fails. I don't get it.
I
think it's
don't
so
either.
stupid. I'm like, there's 1,000 other things you should be doing instead of watching this. But it's like, I don't
Well,
know. I guess
there's
it's
another
background
girl
music.
that does it that looks like her, kind of, but people say she looks like me with Azzyland. People say look like her.
I've never heard of her.
Oh, she hates Azzyland. She doesn't like her either.
There's another one named Gloom too, like Cassie, but her channel name's Gloom. I think
So
it was.
the viewers are kids. That makes sense because
Yeah, they're all kids. I
Mhm.
only found out about these people because my oldest stepdaughter, like she used to watch some of these SniperWolf reaction videos, and then I happened to catch a few of them. They're like super sexual and weird. So I end up, like having a discussion with her, like, no, we're not gonna watch this channel anymore. And that was really like a couple years ago.
Mhm.
And I've never heard a good thing about this person since then. But that was my introduction to
So-
her.
I feel like the Gen Z has this whole like mindless content they like because they just think that everything is just total shit now, and they know they're like, you know.
I
what
mean,
you're
like
talking
I'll go
about.
on like what's like trending videos
It's
and people
black
are
pill content.
Well, I
is
think what it is it's just so over, like the world is just so utterly and totally fucked that it's like, well, we're just gonna.
But I don't think kids, I don't think like teens and tweens they know that the world is fucked. Like we know.
Yeah, you do.
Because we've lived
Yeah, you
in
do.
it.
Yeah, you do.
I think they're
You
part of it.
absolutely
I
do.
think they're all losing brain cells, getting addicted to watching mindless shit like SniperWolf, and like they see, oh, this shit's cool, and
Right.
I can make millions of dollars off of shit like
Yeah.
her.
It's basically modernized America's funniest home videos, so maybe we shouldn't judge. Like everybody needs their brainless content. Like some women like watching Real Housewives. Some people like watching The
I
Bachelor,
also
The
don't get like
Bachelorette.
vlogs. Like, come with me to Target. I'm like, I don't. If I want to go to Target, I'll go to Target. Why would I watch?
Right.
I mean, just go to Target. Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
here's what I got at Target. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. But those videos like do
Maybe
well.
who loves that content are shut-ins, people who haven't been inside of a Target, people who don't know,
That's true.
who are afraid to go
I think
leave their
a
house.
big part of it. It's a lot of really socially anxious people who, just spend too much time online, and then COVID really compounded it.
Oh
so.
yeah, they're living vicariously through all the other like vloggers and stuff like that. Maybe.
That's sad.
I'd rather see if someone wants to like vlog to the moon, cool, but Chipotle.
We can't go to the
You
moon
mean if-
anymore,
Yeah,
Jazz.
that's
I was
what
gonna
lost
say,
it.
you
I
mean if
don't
somebody
know.
wants to
Lost
do
the technology.
Or the Mustang.
CGI reenactments?
Like, since when do we like seeing people eat? I don't know.
Oh yeah, mukbang.
I would watch you go
Cecil
to Target.
would watch us go to Target. Well, shit,
I
maybe I
put
need
it
to go to
behind the
Target.
paywall.
Yeah. If you went to Target in your underwear, I think
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so many people
see
like
that.
that.
That's like so my biggest platform is Reddit, and they love like flash a titty in public. So I would do stuff like that. I'd go to the parking lot, and I would wait till there were no cars, and I'd be like, okay.
So do we feel like she deserves to be deplatformed? Period. Off just Instagram, off just YouTube, off both.
I try to be the person who's like, okay, whatever thing you did the problem on, like maybe let's start there type of situation. Like if she had done that on YouTube, absolutely, you should be gone. You shouldn't be doing that. Obviously, if I found out she did that, I'd say obviously kick her off YouTube. But yeah, I'm like, no, if that's against Instagram's terms of service, she should be off that at least,
Yeah.
But I don't know how far else I'd escalate that
Oh,
until she made a
especially
problem.
since, I mean, YouTube demonetized Russell recently, and they wrote in that letter that like, oh, we also will demonetize or deplatform people that go against that jeopardize our viewers' safety. So I think this is like a literal perfect example of that. So I think if they don't deplatform her, that would be really inconsistent of them.
And that's what this JacksFilms guy is saying. It sets a dangerous precedent that if she's not deplatformed, then are they basically saying that this is okay to do?
Well, that's the thing. If they just didn't deplatform anyone, I'd be like, okay, but they deplatformed so many people for less
For
offensive.
way less for opinions, for political opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So this is clear doxing. I mean, I think they have to deplatform her. They're probably making a shit ton of money off her and they don't want to.
Which is why
Absolutely.
they probably won't.
You think they won't?
Probably
think
not.
They probably Instagram and YouTube probably make so much money off of her. Why would they do that? Why
Yeah.
would they?
Yeah.
If you're in this special club where you make lots of money for a platform, it is a lot harder to get kicked off.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's like if you have the right talking points of the left, you can just like molest kids and stuff. But if you don't, then you
yeah.
can't. So,
Well,
Yeah.
it's like that.
We've been bringing up the Russell Brand thing a lot. You know, he hasn't been charged with anything formally, but there's all those women accusing him of SA and all that stuff. And YouTube immediately like, nope, you're going to be the platform. You can't make money, whatever, on our thing. But he's so big on Rumble, and Rumble is staying firm. Like, no, the guy hasn't been charged of anything. He's not during a trial or anything like that. Like, we're going to allow him to still make money here, you know, because anyone can say anything. I think. And typically on our show, I think we've been on the side of like, well, we kind of would stand by Rumble in that situation because you don't want to set a bar of like just banning people because somebody said a thing about them.
Yeah.
Situation. But I think doxing is a little riskier, in my
Do you
opinion.
think this is career ending for SniperWolf? Do you think this is like, well, right. I mean, it would only be career ending if she got deplatformed. It's not like
Right.
So this is what YouTube said about Russell, that he violated the creator responsibility policy. If a creator's off-platform behavior harms our users, employees, or ecosystem, we take action to protect the community. I feel like you must. If this means anything, it means this.
Like you show dudes how. Like,
I do agree that's endangering somebody because you don't know what anyone in her fan base might do.
No, there's so many.
Yeah.
You know, there's a school shooter in there somewhere.
And it says here,
Like, statistically, right?
Yeah.
It's clearly off-platform behavior that harms users.
Yeah.
Ecosystem.
It's never safe being like, hey guys, big red flag. Like, this is where this guy lives.
But they won't, and nothing will happen. No one will be outraged. Nothing will happen.
Do you
So
think
then
that Jack and maybe other creators combined have enough sway because they're all big creators too, maybe not as big as her.
Well, if that happens, she's fucked because almost every single YouTuber hates her. So she'll definitely be fucked.
It'll be interesting. Well,
they've been waiting for this for
You
years.
think they're all going to cover it and kind of make an appeal to YouTube to do it?
Yeah. I mean, she's done so many things, maybe not deplatforming things, but just a lot over the past 10 years. Like just to so many different people too. It's wild. So I don't know if she's fucked. If that's
this is like a clear.
I think we might have an Amber Heard situation on our hands.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, I don't really know any of them.
I don't know how YouTube would explain that this doesn't fall under the creator responsibility, whatever the fuck that policy.
I agree. I'm not in her court at all, but it does seem though that if you make enough money for a platform, they'll find a way, they'll find a loophole or a sentence to be keeping you around. Like, oh, this person didn't technically violate this, or this, and they'll find like a fancy workaround for it.